We're going to be talking some high school football games coming up here in just a moment here on the CBS 13 Facebook page. All right, I am Steve Montoya once again with MaxPreps.com, taking over the CBS 13 Facebook page so we could talk some high school sports. And we're talking about the top 5 games this week going down in the Sac-Joaquin section. Let's go ahead and pull up those rankings. There they are, new number 1 overall. They're at the top. St. Mary's out of Stockton, looking really, really good. 3 impressive wins so far. 2 against some out-of-section teams. Last week, big win over Central Catholic. Elk Grove drops down to 2. Del Oro and Folsom at 3 and 4, and there you go. Oak Ridge at 5. Grant, Monterey Trail right behind. All those teams undefeated there. Then Rockland, Central Catholic, and Whitney rounding out the top 10. Look at Sierra coming in. Downey there towards 24. And number 25. Again, we are talking football here on the CBS 13 Facebook page. I'm Steve Montoya with MaxPreps.com. All right, let's jump into some of the top games going on in this section this week. And we're going to start this thing off with Cosumnes Oaks taking on number 1, St. Mary's. Cosumnes Oaks here shown in the dark. Cosumnes Oaks is 2-0 so far. They had a bye last week, but get this, they have not allowed a point yet this season in 2 games. But you know their coaching staff all week and their team is getting ready for the big powerhouse in St. Mary's, because guess what? St. Mary's can put up the points, as you could see some of the defense right here from Cosumnes Oaks there in Elk Grove. Let's get to St. Mary's. Last week, they beat Central Catholic 49-0. Now Central Catholic did sit some starters to start that game, but still very impressive. The quarterback Jake Dunaway threw 6 TDs in that game, 3 of them to Keaton Hampton. That combo, we're going to show a little more of that combo later coming up here in this show. All right, let's get to game number 2. It's American Canyon taking on Will C. Wood. American Canyon has been very, very impressive so far this year, including last week's 54-19 win over Inderkum. Inderkum there in the yellow, American Canyon in the white. Inderkum, a team that many thought would be one of the top teams in the section. They still could be, but American Canyon 54-19. They have yet to be held under 40 points. Now, Will C. Wood, if you want a team that can score, well, Will C. Wood is one of those out of Vacaville. Last week, they did come off a tough loss to an out-of-section team, but they're 2-1 overall. This could be a wild shootout in our game number 2 of the week. All right, let's get to game number 3. Overall, this is a classic small school battle, but 2 small schools who are very, very good. Sonora and Hillmar. These 2 have played the last 2 years, and both games have been very close. Both games under 3 points. Sonora is 3-0 right now. They beat Oakdale in week 1, and last week they beat up on Ripon. And Hillmar, on the other side of it, they're also 3-0. Last week, a big win over Augustine, and a nice win in week 2 as well over Lathrop, 16-14. You like the little classic, like I said, small school tough teams. These are 2 teams to watch for sure. All right, game number 4. Now we're going to head out of section for these 2 games as Rockland will host Clovis West. Now Rockland lost to Grant, as you can see here early in week 1, 21-20, but they have bounced back to win 2 great games, including a classic last week, a 1-point win over their rival Whitney right down the street. It's a classic old school rivalry between 2 teams from the same city. They came out on top with a 1-point win. They'll take on Clovis West, who has won 2 straight. They're out of Fresno. And finally, let's get to the Oak Ridge Trojans as they will hit the road to play Reed out of Nevada. And get this, Reed and Oak Ridge have played the last couple years, and Reed is 2-0 against Oak Ridge. The Nevada Power has beat up a little bit on Oak Ridge, but this year Oak Ridge is looking really, really good, especially on the offensive side of the ball, scoring 41 or more in all 3 games. Reed of Sparks, Nevada is 2-1 overall. All right, that was just a look at 5 of the games this week going down. We want to hear from your comments in the section here on the CBS 13 Facebook page. If we should take a look at one of your games that we may be missing. If you don't mind, Chris, pulling up the rankings one more time so the folks can see how the top 25 is looking right now overall so far in the section. St. Mary's, we've been up and down with the number 1 team overall. Elk Grove's been there, Del Oro's been there, Folsom's been there. St. Mary's now moving up to the top there after 3 impressive wins. Eddie's saying that Central Catholic may be a little too high with the 1 and 2, but get this, Central Catholic's 2 losses are against a power out of San Diego and the number 1 team in the Sac-Joaquin section. So you may be looking at the ranking saying, how can a team with 2 losses be so highly ranked? Well, when you play teams that are very, very good and you lose, we're not going to penalize you too much. Versus if you're 3-0 against 3 softer teams, you may be penalized for that. So a little breakdown, a little bit of how the MaxPreps computer rankings works overall. Let's get to the play of the week from this past week. It actually happened in that St. Mary's game. We're going to get to the combo I talked about from St. Mary's as the quarterback here, Jake Dunaway, throws it up. Nice way to go up and get that ball. Keaton Hampton, he caught 3 of the 6 TD passes this week against Central Catholic. Just throw it up there. Look how high he gets up, gets it at its highest point, steps over the defender, walks into the end zone for 6. St. Mary's is looking very, very good. They have a tough game this week against Cosumnes Oaks. Then the week after that, they will play one of the best teams in all of the nation, St. John Bosco out of Southern California. So one more look here at the top 25 rankings. Did your team make the cut? Should your team be in this rankings? Leave us a comment. Let us know. These are your top 25 as of right now. That was a look at 5 of the best games going down this week in the Sac-Joaquin section. I'm Steve Montoya. I've been taking over the CBS 13 Facebook page. We're maxpreps.com. Check us out online, and we'll see you next week.